Thursday, June 9th, 8th, 9th, something like that. I'm working here at the shop, changing some disc mower blades. Had a few revolting developments here. Last time I went to get disc mower blades, I asked them at the counter what blade my machine took, and they told me, and they come up with this blade, and it is almost half an inch longer than the blades we'd been using. So I didn't see why they wouldn't work, but and they were Kuhn brand, so they were even a little cheaper than what aftermarket ones we'd been getting. So I was surprised about that, and I have just changed a few of them. My youngest son was doing this, mowing for us, helping my dad mow for us. He was doing most of the maintenance on it between him and Dad. I think they were trying to get more use out of their blades than the blades are worth. So now that one there bent real bad. And some of the mowing we do is kind of hairy, but I think we're letting go of some of that hairy mowing this year. Anyway, this is a Kuhn 800, GMD 800 disc mower. This one's a G2, I think. I suppose that means generation 2. Got it on the old 1086 that I bought last winter and drove in here, and I kind of did a thing here. Yeah. New sticker. I just put a new sticker on the old tires. That's what I done. I got to looking at the old tires. They had some, this one on this side had a big gouge in it. And I thought, man, I don't want to have trouble in the field. And so I called my tire guy, and he quoted me a price that wasn't any higher than the last set of them I had put on 3 or 4 years ago. So I just told him to come out and put them on. I didn't realize until they got here, and the rims didn't show it at all, but those other tires had water in them. They didn't have calcium chloride, it just had water. And he said when he got to the bottom of dipping that out, it was antifreeze. So they had tried to put water and automotive antifreeze in it, and it didn't mix. I would say it was very little antifreeze and a whole bunch of water, but they were here all day changing them. They said that's no big deal. It's been so slow at the tire shop that they are Star Max 18438s, and what I got's 10 ply. So we'll see how they do. But I'm out here changing blades this morning. I'll give you a little picture of changing blades. I cheat a little bit. You got to have this bar. I don't know if I can video this. You got to have that bar stuck under there, and then I use this squirt wrench. Take that loose. Then you have to get the bar out. Shake that till it comes apart, falls down through the hole, and you get the blade bolt out, and there's the old blade. See if I can make sure. You got to watch on these blades, they are directional because these discs turn 2 different directions. That is not the right one. I think I put one on that one. That's not the right one. Should be that one. I have to take that other one off. See, these cut in pairs. They spin together in pairs. So yeah, I put one that's wrong direction on that one when I wouldn't pay attention. But you kind of have to go a reverse process to put them back on. I probably spend as much time digging crap out of them holes from the green that's on the grass. Gets buried in them holes with that nut. Some of the nuts get really worn off on one side. The other one over there is really worn off on one side, so eventually you have to change the nuts and bolts if your dish mower lasts long enough. Well, we'll see what else I get into today. Yeah, we got to get started here today. Dad have been over here mowing for quite a while, using the 1086 that I've been working on. Coon 800 disc mower. Monday morning. Really windy today. Wind is messing with some of my windrows, not bad. And yeah, anybody's looking at this probably say, wow, that's really thin, and it is. It's not very heavy. And it's plenty dry. I could be baling it right now. However, I'm only one man and can't do everything all at once. But I got the rest of the day to get this in the bale. We'll see how it goes. This is the first hitch out of the year going at making hay, so we just kind of try to get through this one without having too much trouble. Get everything ironed out. However, just about all this stuff was working when we parked it last year, so it wasn't too big a deal to go at it again. Sorry for my poor cameramanship. This is just recorded on an iPhone. But anyway, we'll see how we get along here and bring you back for a little of the baling. If you didn't get it, this field's really rough. Really rough. This old ground was, part of it's been farmed some. My granddad farmed some of it, but a long time before I was around, they spray killed the trees that were in here and waited a year, knocked them over with 2 dozers and a big chain between them. And they did not do anything to fill stump holes, obviously. So I may work on that some this summer. I got a whale of a pile of dirt we cleaned out of one of my ponds, and it's not mud, it's real dirt that just washed in there. Got a ditch that washes through it. Got the dump truck and a skid loader. Maybe I'll work on this some this summer. I've needed to for a long time. And we've tried filling some of them up with sawdust. It just deteriorates pretty quick because some of these stump holes actually hold water. Must have been some big old oak trees all up in here for them to have that many big stump holes. That's all I know. But anyhow, that's how this is going. Told you about the oops on my tires on my tractor. I had new tires put on the mow tractor. One of them went flat. 3 days later, when the tractor never moved, and I come up here and mowed for maybe an hour with Dad after they fixed that. and got them home, parked it, and before the end of the day on Saturday, both of the back tires went flat. They tore them down this morning and have determined that the brand new tubes we got weren't any good. So maybe they'll get us some good tubes and get them dudes put back together. I'd like to be using it. Got a good week of weather here, but we're already having other little woes. Our one disc mower that was going apparently less than an hour ago, all the belts on it broke. So anyway, that's the kind of junk we're dealing with. Mechanical failures are pretty common when you're trying to use, I'll put it this way, experienced equipment. And we'll see if we can get some of the baling. Well, here I am making probably the last bale. I don't know, there may be one after this. I came in and did bailed my corners up so I wouldn't have to drive around them or over them. And that wound me up in the middle of the field. So I bailed her from the inside out. Some places that had to catch the outside windrow. There's several bales, more than what I thought there'd be. I'm gonna guess less than 40. I've had good years when this field, this early even, would make 80 bales. I think the most I got off from it one year, we couldn't get on them to bale because it stayed so wet. We didn't get it baled till about the last week in June, and it made like 110 or something like that. I thought I'd run up this corner and do a little running over some of these spots where there's a little stuff left. I use a 605F Premier. The only monitor it's got is what you can monitor with your own two eyeballs. This one doesn't have, it has a hydraulic tie, and you operate all of it with your valve in the tractor. It's actually supposed to have a little creeper valve on it that makes it go back up real slow. But I gotta keep them clean enough to work, especially if you ever switch tractors. Seems like you get a little speck of dirt in that thing or something, it wouldn't work. Plus, first bale, hydraulic fluid would be cold and it would take forever. You'd put like twice as much strain on the first bale. This is the last windrow, quarter-mile long through here. Get all this picked up, we'll be done. Y'all can't see it very good, but I can see how high the bale is in there from one side to the other. It's telling me where I need to drive out of the windrow. They put the tie arm up there on the front where you can see it good, and that works really good. You can tell when the string's running and all that. You have to wonder if you're getting it. I wanted to buy some ground around here. This 35 acres next door came up for sale, and it's kind of like this. It doesn't produce much hay, lets you fertilize it pretty good. This year you wouldn't have been able to afford to fertilize it. My monitor is, I can see the bale over that roller in the front. And I don't turn this baler all that fast. It's PTO speed on these, I think, is 2150. Gotta make sure you get some extra string on the ends. And you don't have to do this, but I always shut off the PTO. Of course, I'm a little slower. Only doing this with one hand. Big heavy windrows, I've baled as much as a bale every 2 minutes. 30 bales an hour. It's kind of a hard pace to keep up with. Using a 1086 today. This tractor's an 80 model 1086. Was missing one of the side hoods. I went to salvage and got one. I can't believe the paint so much matched. Apparently the front of this tractor had been left stuck out of a barn most of its life because the paint on the cab and the back end of the tractor is way better than the nose. And I found a hood that was about like that, but it was up to a 14. So one side says 1486 and the other side says 1086. So we've dubbed this tractor Identity Crisis. Gonna make a little bale. Already made one of those in another little piece today. This is the end of what I got to bale. It's a little after 2 o'clock, so I get to go do some other stuff now. They broke down, both of the mowers are broke down. The one with the back tire problems. I don't know if I said this on the other video, but they was having inner tube problems. And they figured out both the inner tubes in them wasn't no good, brand new ones. They told me that there's only one company making them inner tubes, and they don't stand behind them. You buy them and they're yours. And they was coming apart at the seams on them 2 inner tubes. So that about does it. This has been hay baling with Paul on 13th of June. First field of hay. Baled the bale lot at the house. One in the chamber tied, so I'm gonna go to the house. Thanks for watching my videos. This has been a good day because I haven't got out of the tractor since I came into this field. This is the first thing I've done today that hasn't broke. It sure is a Monday.